Hi everyone, so today we're going to study an artist named Wassily Kandinsky. I know that's kind of an unusual name, but he is a very cool artist that we're going to learn about, and then we're going to do an artwork inspired by his work, okay? So we're going to look at some of his pictures and we're going to talk about them. So he was a Russian artist. He was considered a pioneer of abstract art. And for those of you who don't know what abstract art is, we're going to talk about it a little bit more in just a minute. But if you notice, like I said, he's from Russia, and we are studying Asia right now. So that's why we're studying him now, okay? Because he was a Russian artist. He is very famous. One of his paintings sold for 21 million. Okay, so he's pretty well known. He lived from 1866 to 1944. And today I'm going to encourage you to do something a little bit different. I normally tell you to listen to music or something that makes you relaxed, but today I'm going to strongly encourage and suggest you listen to music that you enjoy and that inspires you. And for those of you that I have at school, you can tell Miss Nave that you got to listen to music in art class. All right. So Wassily Kandinsky was pretty interesting. He listened to music while he painted, and he saw colors when he heard music. Now that's pretty cool, isn't it? So he saw colors when he heard music. I don't know if you can hear it now, but I'm going to pause for just a minute, and I've got some soft music playing in the background. I want you to see if you can hear it. If you can't hear it, what we're going to do in a little bit is I'm going to have you put on your own music, and we're going to talk about what I want you to do with it, okay? So that's a little bit about him. Here's some of his artwork. Now, can you see anything in it? Does it look like anything to you? To me, it kind of looks like a tornado came through and threw all this stuff and colors and shapes and lines into one big painting. But I don't necessarily see anything in there. I'm sure I could find stuff or objects, but I can't tell exactly what he was painting. This is probably one of my favorites that he painted. And the reason I like it is because I think it looks like a map. Now, it's not your typical map, but I think it looks like a map. I think these are all different farms, maybe tulip farms since they've got all those pretty colors. Or maybe this is an island and this is the water around it. But again, all we can see with it is the shapes and colors. I can see circles, I can see triangles, I can see rectangles, I see reds and blues and purples, and pinks. But past that, I don't really know what it is. Okay, so abstract art, like I said, we were going to talk about it. And both the pictures that you've seen so far, including the circles that is shown on this slide, are considered abstract art. That means it does not represent something that you see in real life or in reality. All right, so if I go outside, I would not see circles painted like these. I wouldn't see a triangle that looked like the one that I said similar to a map, okay? It's a way of making art that uses shapes, colors, texture, so how things feel, and forms to make art, okay? So what I think of when I think of abstract art is I think of almost being in like a dream-like state. Okay, so sometimes, have you ever had a dream that is just really bizarre? It doesn't make sense. And sometimes they even scare you. Sometimes they make you happy. But sometimes they're scary because they don't make sense. So abstract art can kind of be like that because we want everything to make sense, but sometimes art doesn't. All right, so that's going to be our challenge today. We're going to make abstract art. Here's another one. Now again, I don't necessarily see anything in this picture, but I know some of my 4th and 5th graders last year, they thought they saw a lion, that this was his eye, part of his mane. I think some of these almost look like music notes. This looks like a Rubik's Cube. All right. maybe an ear. I like this one too with all the circles. So a few things that my 4th and 5th graders thought of this last year. Some people thought it was planets and like a galaxy. Others thought it was looking into a microscope and seeing like bacteria. I think I had some that thought it was different stars. Maybe even algae. All right, to me, I can almost, this is really strange, but I can almost see a buffalo with his legs, a hump on his neck, and then his face here. Or again, an island, and this is the water around it. I love this one too. I think it's so interesting. So what I want you to be thinking of when we're going through these is how you're going to make your abstract art. You could do shapes like he did some of these, like he did lots with circles. You saw some triangles earlier. We've seen rectangles. All right, so there's lots that you could do. But if you notice, he also has lots of subtle colors, which means they don't really pop out. If you look in the background behind the circles, you can see black, but you can also see some different colors mixed in there. So think about your shapes, your colors, what all you're going to add to your picture. All right, and then last but not least, before we work on ours, is again his circles that he made. All right, one of the main things I want to point out to you is you notice they're not perfect. Okay, a lot of times we strive to be perfect with our artwork, which is great. I want you to do a good job and to work hard and to try your best. But I also want you to have fun and to learn and to try new things and to mess up, because we all mess up. So I want you to try something different today. And I will be honest with you all, abstract art is hard. I think it's hard because it's hard not controlling and knowing exactly what we're doing. All right, and this is a little more free than that, okay, because we don't have anything in mind. I'm not teaching you how to draw a snowflake or a unicorn, okay? It's totally up to you what you draw. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here and take you to my screen so you can see my picture that I've worked on so far. Okay, so what I want you to do, like I said earlier, is if you can't hear my music, go ahead and get your own music playing. And then I want you to just sit for a minute and close your eyes and unwind. Take some deep breaths. In and out. And I want you to think about what colors you're thinking of when you hear the songs that you're listening to. Now the music I'm listening to is it's oldies radio with the rain in the background because I think it's very relaxing. And so I think of blues, grays, maybe even some thunder and lightning. Also think of some brown because I like to drink hot tea when it's stormy. So after you've pictured what colors your music inspires you with, I want you to go ahead and start drawing. Okay, you can do shapes. I have no clue what this shape is. I had no plan with it. I just kind of started drawing and I just kind of went with it. So I may use my markers to go back and fill in some of this white area. And then since I'm using my markers and I'm not using paint like Wassily Kandinsky did, probably what I'll do is I'm going to finish coloring this and then I'm going to take my watercolor or my water and my brush and go over all of this and blend my colors together. Okay? So think about what your music makes you feel like. Does it make you feel peaceful and calm? Does it make you feel excited? Ready to go outside and play? Now I'm going to change mine up. I'm going to add a bright pop of red in here. But again, my challenge for you all today is don't plan on drawing any object or subject like a person or an animal or a flower. Draw a shape, okay? Pick out a color and create something abstract, okay? Something different that you wouldn't normally draw or make. Alright, now I've got to figure out what I'm going to put on the inside of my shape. It kind of looks like a boot. Sometimes your parents may even agree with this if they've ever seen abstract art or if you've ever seen abstract art. Sometimes people think that abstract art is made by people who can't draw or are just not good artists, but it's not that. Abstract art is a different way of expressing things. Sometimes it's a way of expressing our emotions. It's a way to change the way we see things, to explore new ways of creating. Alright, there's all different reasons that people make abstract art. Now, like I said, abstract art is not my strong suit, okay? It's something that I struggle with because I like knowing exactly what I'm making. But abstract art is good for us because sometimes it's a way to almost scribble. And sometimes scribbling can be fun. It can also be fun, too, just to see what you can make without any plans in mind. Alright, so I just encourage you to play around with it. See what you can make, what you can do. Decorate your paper however you want to. You can do lines. You can do shapes. You can even do music notes if you know how to draw music notes. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and call it quits where I've got it. Again, no clue what I made. I was just using lines, shapes, and colors to create. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my cup with water in it and my paintbrush. And I'm just going to start blending these colors together. And this can be another way that we are expressive with our abstract art, okay? Because it's going to make our colors blend. Maybe not in the way we expected either, depending on if you remember what colors make when they mix together. Does anybody remember what blue and red make when they're mixed together? Blue and red mixed together, they'll make purple. What about blue and yellow? Everybody remember? Blue and yellow will make a green. Now, on a negative note, blue and orange, like I have right here, when they're mixed together, they're going to make a brown. So that's going to end up being not very pretty, but that's okay. Finish blending my yellow and my green. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over some of this purple. Alright, and we'll see what that ends up like when it's done. Okay, so I hope you learned something. Even if you don't like abstract art, I hope you can appreciate it. And hopefully you liked learning about Wassily Kandinsky, because I like looking at his artwork. I hope you guys have a great week, and hopefully I will get to see you soon. Bye.